Today, we're going to talk about how to create a luxury coaching brand even if nobody knows you exist. Because here's the bottom line. You want to attract people who have money, who want to work with you, and who are qualified and can pay your highest coaching prices, right? So that's what we're going to talk about in this video, because here's the problem that most coaches are having right now. As we sort of finish off 2025 is the end, that's when this recording is done, and move into 2026. First problem that coaches are having is this. AI content is crushing social media reach. So if you have a Facebook page, for example, or something like that, so much AI content is getting created that the reach is dropping. For example, I have 9,600 roughly followers on LinkedIn. My average post gets seen by about 40 people. Okay. And so what's happening is the reach is dropping because so much content's coming into all the social media platforms, and it's just destroying the reach. And so nobody sees your posts, even though you post it. Number two, you are your brand more than ever. Okay. People want to work with coaches that they know, they trust, they feel like they have the same values and all that. And with all the noise that's happening right now, with so much going on and so many advertisers and competing coaches out there, it's very hard for coaches to stay on top of somebody's mind so that they know they can pick them. The next problem is there's two other problems. The first one is it takes longer than one day now for somebody to want to work with you. Okay. In the old days, somebody could click your ad, somebody could find you on free social media and wherever and be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I got to book a call. This person is exactly what I need. Where have they been? Right. And they'll book in they'll find you on a Monday. They see your calendar. They book in for a Tuesday and they hand you their credit card on Tuesday. Right. And they just found out about you. It's like, wow, how do we get going? That is not happening as much anymore. Rarely ever. And the final thing is this, that coaches are now reaching a ton of broke people and they don't know why. So I'm going to explain to you three things that you need to understand on how to fix this. So because here's the thing, this peaked at about 2022. And what happened was four things that happened that made everything amazing. And once you understand this, you're going to understand how to properly build a luxury brand, even if nobody knows who you are. Okay. So the first thing is interest-based keyword targeting on Facebook was working amazing. You could type in John C. Mack, followers of John Maxwell, followers of Tony Robbins, all that kind of stuff, and you could get their followers, and you could actually get really qualified people because the AI really wasn't as advanced with Facebook ads. The second thing is you could get them into things like Facebook groups, your followers, and you'd get like a 50% reach. You'd put a post out and half your followers would see it. Now it's like 2, 3, 4%. And so it's dropped. And that's why in about 2022 is the peak of all this. Third one is, like I said, you could send them right to a funnel and they would just buy it like that. Okay. And the fourth thing is they were buying, they were buying what you have, not you. They're like, oh my gosh, this person knows how to lose 30 pounds in a month or whatever without having to go to the gym. I want to work with them. Okay. So everything changed because all these coaches came online and it's just been harder. So what are the three things that you need to do to fix this? So here's the three things. Now they all build in order. So you have to make sure you follow them. And this works great if you don't have a brand, if nobody knows who you are, any of that kind of stuff. But the third one is the most important because it ties it all together. So number one, you need to use what I call the marketing trifecta. Okay. Here's what it is. It's pain plus income plus commitment. Okay. So here's what I mean by that. What a lot of coaches are doing is they're doing pain-based marketing and it's bringing people who are in a lot of pain and have no money. Or they're doing pain plus money, aka, are you trying, we'll just use weight loss because it's easy to understand. Are you trying to lose 30 pounds? Okay. That's sort of a pain-based marketing, trying to get out of a pain, but then they'll put an income qualifier in there, making $100,000 a year or whatever, which is better, but just because they have money doesn't mean they're qualified. So you need a commitment person who's trying a bunch of things and it's not working. And you have to understand, one of the problems a lot of coaches have is they feel like they need to sort of work their way up the pricing ladder and try and reach people who are have money and higher income earners down the road. Like they need to build their credibility up for it. And I want to give you a couple examples of that. That just isn't reality. Like, for example, I live in Las Vegas, right? I'm from Canada. I'm from Calgary, Banff, Lake Louise area, moved here in about summer 2020. And in Vegas, you have very distinct brands, right? You've got the Wynn, Bellagio, so Red Rock Resort. They're like 5-star-ish type resorts. There's other ones too, Four Seasons and stuff. And then you've got like Circus. It's like $30-40 a night. You got some of the other hotels on Fremont Street, and they're very targeted to who they're reaching, right? Or the Golden Nugget or something like that. And they don't start out as a low-end brand. For example, you don't get like Circus starts out as, and then they're just like, wow, we're just randomly reaching people who want to spend $500 a night. Well, I guess we'll raise our prices, right? And that's kind of how coaches see their stuff. They're like, if I charge little bits and get lots of credibility, eventually people are just going to want to pay me a lot and I'll be able to charge what I'm worth. That doesn't happen, okay? You have to establish who you're reaching, and you need to go after that qualified high income earning person now, not like down the road, because it's not going to happen. Don't build up to that, okay? So they have to be in pain, obviously, but you have to use an income qualifier in all your ads, making $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, whatever it is. And number 3, they have to be trying things that are costing them to not that they want your help, right? If they're trying to lose weight, are they working with a personal trainer? Are they using meal plans? Are they using certain shots or whatever that they're spending money on? And get all that in early. Don't just work your way up to it. That's not going to work, okay? Now, number 2 adds on to this here. If you want to build this brand and reach people who are qualified and have money, even if you don't have a following, you got to follow number 2. Before I get to number 2, hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. I create multiple videos every week talking about what's working, what we're learning. I've spent millions on ads over the years, worked with well over 1,000 coaching clients. And so we're able to help you figure out what's going on. We share it all here on YouTube as much as we can. And when we create a video, you'll get notified. So hit that subscribe button. Now, number 2, you have to understand the psychology difference between people who have money and people who don't, okay? And what that means is shifting from the funnel to the ecosystem, because here's the problem. People who are desperate and very want help right now, they're the ones who are responding to funnels. What do I mean by funnel? I mean, so they see your ad, for example, or something on, let's just say your ad, and then it's like, give me your name and email and I'll give you this thing. And then they sign up and it says, okay, check your email in 3 minutes for this PDF document, which is some ChatGPT thing. And in the meantime, book a call with me and I will help you, show you how to lose weight. Okay. And so like, oh, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to book a call. And then, right. And then they book that call. People who are, I don't want to say this in a bad way, derogatory, but more unsophisticated in the market, extremely desperate, are falling for those. They're not working with people who have money, because those people are sophisticated. They've been through coaching programs before and they are serious buyers. Okay. So what we've got to do is you got to understand it. It's taking them a little longer to want to work with you. And so what we need to do is shift this to an ecosystem. And it's sort of like, again, use a Vegas example. Nobody, if you were here and you're single or in Vegas or something like that, and somebody's like, hey, I saw you looking at me, like you, we get along, all that stuff. Let's get married. There's a marriage chapel right down the road there on the Strip. Let's just get it over with, right? That's like craziness, right? And so it's sort of the same thing in coaching, is that it's like, I just found out about you and now one day later, boom, they're buying. That's not working with buyers who have money anymore. So what you need to do is understand that it's probably going to take a couple weeks to a month to get them warmed up. And the problem is just taking them to a funnel and getting them on an email isn't working, because what happens is they're not going to remember who you are. They're getting hundreds of emails. I was in my emails this morning. I'm like, who is that person? What are they talking about? And unsubscribe. And this is what's happening. So the way the ecosystem works is we get them into something like a high value automated webinar that we get a 60 to 80% show up rate, where they can spend 20 to 40 minutes with you automated. Now they know you. Some of them are going to book a call. Then we get them into a whole system where we're building a relationship, where we're working with them, and there's certain short form content, so on and so forth. It's a whole ecosystem. Now, the third part hooks this all together, and this is the most important part. It's called high frequency status ads. Now, This is how you really build that luxury brand if you don't have a big following. So what we do is we get them in and we get them all in your system. Now what we do is we run these little cheap ads. We call them mini celebrity status ads. Now what these ads do is when somebody gives you a name and an email, we have these ads show up, and they're special types of ads that are super cheap, $1, $2 a day, and they're cutting through the noise. So your ideal client's seeing them every day. They're seeing them every day. Every day they're seeing those ads. They're seeing those ads. And those ads are strategically designed to break the trust barrier or eliminate objections that they have. And what it does is it increases the frequency. You see, there's a study by Google that said in order for somebody to give you money, they need to have see you on 4 platforms, have 11 touch points and about 7 hours of content. This gets you those touch points and gets you seeing their content. And so what happens is if they don't give you name and email, no problem. We trigger those ads and then we're able to build trust and get them into other things. And then if they do click an email, click something, give you a name and an email address, we run these little ads still, and we're able to build a relationship, give them stuff every day. They're seeing you. And this way, what it does is it puts this kind of circle bubble around them. So they're seeing you every day. And what that's doing is it's increasing your status with them. And remember, the secret right now going into 2026 is, do they trust you and like you? The people who do, because guess what? Everybody's saying similar things in your market, right? Like the weight loss thing, right? Like everybody's got a plan, lose 30 pounds. Everybody's got a meal plan. Everybody's got a this, everybody's got a that. So at the end of the day, everybody's got testimonials and case studies and a book and a podcast and all that. So who are people choosing? They're choosing the people they trust, not the cheapest person, the person they trust. And the way you get trust is frequency of contact. And the way we do that is we create these status ads. We call them mini celebrity status ads that penetrate through, and they show up every single day. And they're super cheap to do. Because remember, if your audience is only a few hundred people who are giving you an email address or coming into your ecosystem a month, well, you can't spend a lot of money on these ads because they'll just blow them up, meaning they'll just overpower the ad. They'll just get seen too many times and then they'll crash and Facebook won't show them. So you really can't spend a lot of money. So we build this ecosystem around them, and then we get these high frequency ads that give high levels of status so that people constantly see them and are like, oh my gosh, I should work with you. Where is this person? I really wow, this person's amazing. I'm going to work with that person. And then they buy. And that's how you hook this whole thing together to create what I would say more of a luxury brand, even if nobody knows you exist. Okay. So that's what I need you to do. And you need to be starting this right away. And so what I would say is, if you want some help, we've got a free way to help you. It's very simple. You just book a call with us. It's a mini celebrity status ads call. It's free because you're in our Skool community. If you're not in our Skool community, there's a link down below to get into our free Skool community. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take 15 minutes to help map this out for you, to give you some ideas on what's working, on what's not working, the best way to do it. We've done hundreds and hundreds of these calls. Obviously, we have 2,300 people in our Skool community. So we've done a lot of these calls, and we know what's working in what market, what price points are working, what strategies working, what ad things are working, what's best to get the buyers who have the money. And we want to share all that with you for free on a 15-minute call. Nothing to buy. There's nothing for sale. Obviously, in 15 minutes, kind of hard for us to tell you something, right? So not selling you anything. Just book that call and we'll walk you through what's working, how to put this together, map it out, what's we've seen with our successful clients who have done this, what's working in your niche, price points, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a very high value call, because here's the thing. If you can get this to work and you can cut through your market's noise, guess what? You're going to get the best clients who trust you, who want to work with you, and who want to give you money. Because you got to think about it, right? As we get into 2026, as of this recording, what's going to happen? Well, in 2026, there's going to be more coaches using AI content, right? And what the problem with AI content is doing is it's lowering trust, because people are like, looks like ChatGPT content to me. It's very robotic or whatever. And also what's also happening is you're starting to see this now. You're getting a lot of fake avatars or AI avatars on fake reels and stuff like that. And you're getting, and people's mindset is shifting. They want to work with real coaches, but they're seeing all this garbage content, but they don't know who to trust. They don't know who to sign up for. And so you can't just like body slam somebody into buying from you anymore. You need to have this process, because what used to work, like I said, those funnels worked amazing. But the problem now is your ideal client's head is stuffed so full of stuff that they're like, I don't know who to trust. I don't know what to do. And when somebody's indecisive, they don't make big buying decisions, right? So that's the whole point, is we have to uninstall the non-buyer belief systems that your ideal client has and install the buyer belief systems that you need them to believe, so that then they can book a call. Because here's the cool thing. When you hook this all together, the whole ecosystem method, what happens is the people who are staying in there a little longer, like maybe they're in a few weeks, they're consuming all this, they're seeing your mini celebrity status ads. I'll tell you what, when they talk to you on the phone or on Zoom or whatever about working with you, those are the best qualified people. Okay. Those are the best people who want to work with you, who are qualified because they've seen your stuff. Okay. And so they're the ones most less likely to give you I got to find the money. I got to think about it, because now they've been into your stuff so much, and then they'll want to work with you. Okay. So that's why it's so important that you build a luxury brand and charge what you're worth. But more importantly, get the people who have the money. And the way you do that is pain targeting, use the trifecta, right? Pain plus income plus committed people. Because the problem you got to remember right now is just because people have money doesn't mean they want to give it to you, right? They're smart. That's how they got money or access to money. And so you've got a couple competing factors here going on in your business. Number one, you got to build trust. You can't just slam them into a funnel anymore. They're going to need a bit of time, number one. And number two, they're also going to need their understanding better buyer belief systems have to be installed to take away their the fact that they're just confused, right? And so that's why we use these high frequency ads going into your ecosystem, and that they're super cheap. Okay. So that's what you need to do. That's what's working right now. And that's what's going to be working in 2026 to build a luxury brand, so that you can charge what you're worth, work with people who you want to work with, enjoy your coaching business, and scale it so that you can get people who want to work with you and pay what you're worth. All right. So click the link below, book the call. It's free, nothing to buy. It's for our Skool members. And we're going to help you out there and share with you what's working, give you feedback on it. And we're also going to give you some free training that's normally only available for our clients. All right. Click the link below and book your call and start building a proper luxury brand using a proper system that gets people to see as the only option and the best option and buy from you. All right.